Hello and welcome to South Bay Sports Radio. Here's your host, Nick Ingram.
Good morning. It is Thursday, September the 25th. Damian, thank you once again for joining me.
It's all good. Looking forward to this every week. This date is circled on my calendar because if I don't circle it, I would forget it.
There we go. So now you got it. Listeners, we are ready to go. Thursdays, 10 a.m. unless rain, sleet, snow, hail, thunder.
Or something, or if I have some other assignment I have to get to, but I'm pretty sure I should be able to be here every Thursday.
All right. It'll be a Thursday, 10 o'clock, maybe not, but Thursday, here we go. All right. On today's episode, we're going to hear from West Torrance head coach Todd Butler, South Torrance head coach Matt Mishler, ahead of tomorrow night's rivalry game. We've also got insight from other coaches around the area and a visit from Redondo Union volleyball coach Tommy Chaffins. But before we jump into those, let's have a little fun. This week in pop culture and sports history, September 24th, 1993, Boy Meets World premiered. September 26th, 1964, Gilligan's Island. 1969, The Brady Bunch debuted. In 69, the Beatles released Abbey Road. And in 1980, John Bonham, drummer of Led Zeppelin, passed away. This one's kind of interesting because we've seen so many different baseball records set. In 1919, Babe Ruth set a then record with 28 home runs. And the next year, he hit 50. Cal Raleigh hit 60 home runs last night. Damian, of all the records that have been set and all the records that are out there, which one do you feel in baseball is the toughest one to get to?
Now, I think the home run record is not going to fall. What is it, 73?
73.
73, yeah. I mean, you got to think, Raleigh hit 60. Then the people you think might have a good shot, Ohtani, but with his pitching, that's sort of going to take away. We sort of seen it now how, last year he didn't pitch and he was 50-50. This year he is pitching and his stolen bases away are just like only down to like 20, I think. Still had 54 home runs though, which is crazy. I think the home run record might be the one that never go. The RBI record is like almost 180 something back in the day.
I feel like it's in the 200s.
It's a crazy number.
Yeah, George Sisler had it, and that's an old one for me.
Yeah, that's one that's never going to go away. If you look on the pitching side, you can just throw in anything. Shutouts, complete game. The pitching game has totally changed nowadays what it is now.
Hack Wilson, 191.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's never going to go away.
George Sisler was the all-time hit in a season. That's the one that Ichiro broke about 15 years ago.
Yeah. All the pitching records are probably safe, except probably saves. Never know. You get a closeout. A closer that just lights out. You run him out there every other night, maybe every night. Probably you can probably get the safe record. But starting pitching record, I think those are wherever it is now. I think they're all safe now.
Yeah, I think gone are the days where we're going to see guys like Kershaw, Verlander. I think Chris Sale's the next on the list, but even a 400 hitter, I think that's going to get even tougher. And Cal Ripken's.
You look at the National League leaders, like barely over 300. I saw the other day.
Oh man!
I saw Freddie Freeman was like 295, and he was like fourth in the league. I was like, that's crazy.
And he's hit 300 in his career a couple times. I remember him being with the Braves. Aaron Judge is hitting 328 right now.
Wow. Okay.
Jacob Wilson's 315. Trey Turner's at 305.
Yeah, that leads the National League, right?
That leagues Nico Horner's 301. Yeah, Trey Turner leads the National League at 305.
Wow.
Freddie's hitting 291.
Yeah, and Will Smith was up there at one point, but he got hurt. Then he was a catcher, so he was wearing down. You could tell he was wearing down. Then he got hurt. So he fell off there. But yeah, 305. Man, back in the day, you'd never think you'd see that leading the league. No,
especially when you got a guy like Shoeless Joe Jackson who hit 360 for his career, but that's in the dead ball era.
Yeah. You look at Tony Gwynn. That guy was unbelievable. He was just crazy how professional of a hitter he was. Him and Rock Carew, guys like that.
And he didn't even hit for power. His home run total was something that some guys hit in a week.
Yeah.
He didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he hit the ball and he hit it well.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to start this week's episode off with your top 15 released recently within the last couple of days. Not a lot of movement. Sarah retains its number one spot after a 19-10 victory over Oaks Christian. Lusinger has that last second call against them. They are at Hawthorne this week. Mira Costa comes in at number 3. They fell to San Juan Hills. They have Villa Park tomorrow. Palos Verdes is off this week. They have that big victory over Banning. Inglewood is in Midland, Texas. They are 1-3. That game is today. Torrance is off this week. Next week, they're at Redondo. North Torrance coming off a double overtime victory over Carson. They're off this week as well. Redondo coming off their first win of the year. They will be at Banning Friday evening. That's a 7:30. Carson is 2-3. They're at number 9. They are at St. Pius Matthias. Number 10, San Pedro. They're coming off that loss to El Modena. At SoFi, they are at Laguna Beach. El Segundo is 4-1. They are off this week. They start league play next week. Number 12, Banning. They've host Redondo. At number 13, Lawndale. They had a big victory over Mary Star last week, and they have Mira Costa next week to start league play. Number 14, West Torrance hosts South Torrance. We'll talk about that game in a little bit. And number 15, Mary Star hosts Palisades. Damian, how much movement did you see in this top 15?
Very little. I think the only change I made was probably Lawndale over Mary Star, and West Torrance got a bump on a big road win against Cypress. I was leaning, if Lusinger would have pulled off that win against Jay Sarah, they might have got a jump. They might have jumped into 1. Going on the road playing a Trinity League team is always tough. They had an 11-point lead late, ended up losing it. They had a late Hail Mary. I mean, it looked like he caught it, but then the play run out, and I guess one of my colleagues at the Orange County Register talked to the head ref, and he said the ball came out as it hit the ground. I don't know. There was another place somebody said it was a fumble that was overruled. You know, it's high school football. There's no replay, so what gets called gets called. So it stands as a 4-point loss. If they would have won, they would have went 1 probably for sure. But now they're 2 going into Bay League. We'll see if there's any movement next week.
We've got 3 Bay League teams at 2, 3, 4. You've got Lusinger, Mira Costa, and then Palos Verdes. Even after Palos Verdes win and Mira Costa's loss, that wasn't enough for you to jump PV back up?
No, I mean, the San Mira Costa against San Juan Hills is a tough team out of the Bravo League. But they were right there. They were right there. A couple plays go their way. They're within 3 or whatever with a chance to tie it or win it late. I decided to keep them there. Then Palos Verdes blowing out Banning. I mean, it's sort of expected a comfortable win. And we'll see how next week. I mean, those teams are going to play each other, which is the good thing about the Bay League. I mean, they're going to play each other. I mean, they start off Lusinger, Inglewood. The following week, Lusinger, Palos Verdes. And then, the final game of the week is like Costa, Palos Verdes. So they're all going to clash. Same with the Pioneer League, Redondo, North, and Torrance. They're all going to clash, and we'll see how that plays out as well.
Those are going to definitely be some fun matchups. I know I'm definitely looking forward to seeing a lot of these teams in action, a lot of double local coverage for us. I want to talk to you about Player of the Week. North Torrance's Ethan Edwards gets the honor after accounting for 5 touchdowns, 3 passing, 2 rushing in that double overtime 42-35 victory over Carson. Damian, with all the performances, and there's another one I want to get into, but with all the big performances, how tough is it for you to make a decision in regard to Player of the Week?
Very tough. It's usually, I started looking at that stuff Sunday evening, Monday morning, and I'm scouring the stories that you guys wrote. Then I'm looking at stats. Some stats aren't updated till like late Monday night, and I'm trying to have a decision made by Monday, just in case I need a photo. So that's always tough. There was a couple that I saw that said, man, if I would have saw this before, maybe I would have changed my mind. But I mean, 5 touchdowns and a come from behind win, that's always a good player to recognize. But there were some I saw, I was like, if I saw this before, this might have been my pick. But yeah, it's a tough decision. More so on the girls' side because now it's basically volleyball, flag football, and some cross country. And you got to scour cross-country results, see who won a race, whatever. Some of the flag football results, stats aren't in either. So you're just sort of picking your brain, trying to find something, anybody to highlight.
And coming from somebody that covers flag football, albeit a game tomorrow, it's so hard to do stats when
Yeah.
You've got a normal football. They're playing on a normal football field, but they cut the football field and the line of scrimmage is at the 14. And first down, there's only 3 first downs. So it's very interesting to keep up in a way where it gives these girls justice, because I'm big on stats. I want you to know as a reader what these girls are doing. So that's the other thing is, it's not always the easiest.
Yeah. It's always. I mean, I looked at one stat, and they had a girl throwing the ball 45 times. I was like, is that possible? Throw the ball 45 times a game? I guess so.
If Tyler Sestich is your coach, he's throwing the ball 50 times. So
yeah.
All right.
But hey, anybody out there, if you want to nominate somebody, shoot me an email, tag us on Breeze Preps before Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and maybe we can highlight your player.
Tag one of us. You can tag me, South Bay Sports Radio, on Instagram. I'll forward it over to Damian. YouTube, South Bay Sports Radio. Find us on Twitter. Facebook, South Bay Sports Radio now has a group. We're going to go into our ad break. Rizzo's Pizza. This one is for South Bay Sports Radio fans only. Are you running around going from practice to practice? Or is making dinner a far-fetched option? Rizzo's is ready, and you can get $10 off your next order. Use this code SBSRFan10 at checkout to claim that offer. Just make sure you don't forget about the breadsticks. Oh man, those cinnamon breadsticks have me calling. That's SBSRFan10. Not available with any other offers. Damien, next time you're in Lomita, you got to check out Rizzo's. Tell them I sent you.
Which school is that close to? Closer to
Narbonne.
Narbonne? What street?
It's between Narbonne and Torrance.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into this week. Number 2 Lusinger is at Hawthorne. This is for the Mayor's Cup. I did a little bit of research because my parents both graduated from both of these schools, My mom in 70 from Lusinger, dad in 70 from Hawthorne.
Oh, wait. I'm a Lusinger graduate. You did not tell me this.
Well, mom passed.
Okay, sorry.
So my Lusinger connections are slim. I have a cousin who graduated from Lusinger in the 80s. I have good friends who graduated from Lusinger. One of them is both of them are around your age. One's 97, 98, and the other one's 2001.
Okay.
I grew up in Lawndale. So if I didn't go to Bishop, that was the choice. And my dad said, nope, you're sticking with Bishop Montgomery. Lusinger opened in 31, Hawthorne in 51. How big is this Mayor's Cup?
When I was there, it was huge. I graduated in 93, so that's right around, I think both schools were pretty good. I had cousins who went there before me. They graduated maybe late 80s, early 90s, and my brother followed me as well. So we had 4 of us going through there. Back then, it was a game, man. It was, hey, final game of the year, you're going to Hawthorne, you're going to Lusinger. Some of us didn't go to Hawthorne games because we didn't know if we were going to get beat up or not, but when the series came to Lusinger, we were always there, man. Now it's all Lusinger now. They've sort of dominated the series lately. In that district, they've sort of, Lawndale had a good run there. They're starting over under Norris Milton. He's building things back up. Lusinger has been dominant the last couple of years under Coach Miller now, and Hawthorne's still trying to build things back up. One thing about Hawthorne, they are back home this year. They were away for a couple of years as their field and their athletic fields got built. Now they're back home, so hopefully this is what turns the program around going forward here. But it's going to be tough trying to slow down this Lusinger team, though.
I can only imagine. My first game covering for the Breeze was at Hawthorne, and I think they were in the midst of that very long losing streak. I think I caught loss number 39. So that was tough. I took a look at that last second Hail Mary, and I did see what looked to be a foot down, but of course, I know I'm going back to that. There's nothing we can change about that. We can talk about it until we're blue in the face, until my shirt's as blue as my face, but in the long run, accepting the result and moving on, using that as motivation in the future. Can Hawthorne make this a game?
It's going to be tough. One thing about Lusinger, they do have a 24-hour rule. So they turned the page pretty quickly on that one. But yeah, it's going to be tough to to keep it close. It's one of those games where, you look at the scores the last couple of years, it's been just one-sided. Maybe but then again, it's high school football. You never know. Maybe something changes. They pull out all the stops. They keep it close for a half, and then the half turns to a third quarter. Third quarter turns into a fourth quarter. Then all of a sudden, it's 2 minutes left, and it's a one possession game. You never know. But it's going to take a big effort though to slow down Lusinger. I think they might be if I had to pick somebody now, they would be the slight edge favorite going to the Bay League. But that's just with Costa, PV, and Inglewood still there. So
and Culver.
Yeah, and Culver as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a battle. But I think Lusinger will win and keep the cup this season.
All right, number 3, Mira Costa hosts Villa Park. After that 38-28 loss to San Juan Hills, Mira Costa needs a strong finish. I reached out to Coach Morrow prior to this week's episode, and he told me the team needs to be better in crunch time. The Mustangs had their chances in the fourth quarter and in the red zone. Damian, you were at that San Juan Hills game. What did you see from Mira Costa, and what can we expect out of the Mustangs this week?
Yeah, they had their chances. They went to halftime down 24-21, and then third quarter, San Juan Hills came out, hit them twice, quick, boom. All of a sudden, it's a 17-point lead. You're like, okay, the game might be over. But Costa got back within 10. Defense had some stops. They had a couple field goal attempts that would have gotten to 7. That would have, allowed them to, go for an onside kick, but they missed both attempts. One was from almost, I think, 50 yards. So it was a pretty deep, pretty long attempt. But, yeah, but, I mean, that San Juan Hills team is pretty good. Timmy, her quarterback, he was pretty much unstoppable. He went 21 of 24, I think. Another running back had like 115 yards or something. So they did a pretty good job against the Costa defense. And they get another tough shot this week against Villa Park from the same league at San Juan Hills. Morrow said he loves playing these games. So that means when you go to Costa, they're not only schedules, no gimmies, and this is another one. It's also the game of the week, Spectrum Sportsnet, so it's going to be a big crowd there. So we'll see how they handle the big lights.
And that stadium is only one side, so you've got a lot of people packed into one side of that stadium.
It's going to be crowded.
Are you there this week?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there 2 nights. I'm there volleyball tonight, which is crazy because I think flag football is going on at the same time, so parking will be crazy. And then I'll go back tomorrow night for football.
There we go. Redondo, number 8, scored its first win of the season, and they are at Banning. Win was a 14-12 victory over Orange. Banning's coming off that 52-0 loss to Palos Verdes. Things don't get much easier for Redondo. After this matchup, they've got Torrance and North Torrance looming. This game is preempted by a flag football showdown. Like I said, we will talk about that in a bit. Some stats from Redondo's win. Christian Zeno had a big all-around game. 71 yards on 9 carries. That's 7.9 yards per carry with a touchdown and an interception. Adrian Ortiz had 100 receiving yards. Cole Leinart only threw for 123. Brock Herrera and Cooper Burns combined for 20 tackles and 3 sacks. And Kyle Westbrook had an interception. Damian, what we know about these two teams, how hungry is Banning going to be, and can Redondo stay in the win column?
Yeah, it's a home game for Banning, so they don't like losing on their home field for their community, so they're gonna be looking to bounce back. And then Redondo, they just gotta keep trying to build momentum going into the Pioneer League. They're one of the teams where I think they're still developing because there are going to be some transfers coming in after the sit-out period, and so the makeup might change a little bit. There might be some more kids coming in as well, so we'll see if they can keep the momentum going out after a hard-fought win against Orange. Try and get a win here, and then set them up for next week. I mean, they go right into the tough Torrance and then North back-to-back to open the league up. So we're going to know a lot about Redondo's league title chances early.
This one is a 7:30 kick. You might have me sticking around for this one.
Totally up to you, Nick. Totally up to you.
Yeah, I want to see Banning live, and I want to see this game, but I also know that that's a long day for me because I either go into work at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's a lot of coffee, a lot of caffeine. And if you've got a recommendation for me around Banning to eat, let me know because I am down for some tacos.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you don't stay, I can always reach out to, whoever wins Saturday morning. So that's totally your call. That would be a long day.
That would be a long day, but you know what? It's football. And Friday Night Lights only happen for a couple more weeks. Number 9, Carson is at St. Pius Matthias. Coach William Lowe says St. Pius is loaded with talent, and the Colts have to keep working on executing against a really good Southern Section team to prepare them for City Section play. Damian, how tough is Carson's non-league slate been, and how tough is the Marine League going to be knowing where San Pedro, Banning, and Carson have been?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Lowe before the season started, and he wanted to mimic what Birmingham does. Birmingham usually schedules tough Southern Section teams to prepare them for city league, their league and their playoffs. I think all except one Carson game has been against Southern Section, I believe. No, 2, Dorsey and Huntington Park. They opened up against Villa Park. They took a lead late. Villa Park scored late, and won that game. Yeah, it's another test. St. Pius, I think they either won CIF or a state title last year. Small school over here in Bellflower that's really tough. Good program. So it's going to be another tough battle for them. And then looking at the Marine League, who's the favorite, man? San Pedro has Seth Solorio's throwing the ball around. They're setting records. You can never count out Banning. Then Carson. I think it's those 3 really that are going to be contending for the title. But you can never overlook something might happen. Gardena might pull a win here, but they're down a little bit, and Narbonne's sort of starting over. But you can never take anything for granted in that league, especially when it comes to Carson, Banning, and San Pedro.
They won CIF last year.
Okay.
Yeah. They beat Serrano 38-19. All right, I agree. San Pedro, Banning, and Carson, all those 3 teams are going to be vying for that top spot, either whether it's Open Division or it's Division 1. I think that there's a possibility that we've got 2 really good quarterbacks in Seth Solorio and Chris Fields. I haven't seen Banning's quarterback yet. I'll give him a look tomorrow. Cody Galloway on Banning, but Gardena could make a run, and Narbonne could make some noise even without the amount of depth that they've had in the past. So that's a wide open league right now. All right, double local, our only double local of the week. West Torrance hosts South Torrance. Last week, West rallied for a 33-28 victory over Cypress. Todd Butler gave praise to Cypress, saying they're a really good football team before looking at South Torrance. I've got Todd Butler, left me a voicemail the other day. Are we ready to hear from Coach?
Let's go.
Roll tape.
We capitalized on those by turning them into touchdowns right after them. Stat-wise, some guys really kind of shot off the stat book. We had quarterback dominant goalie throw for 4 touchdown passes. Lake Ely was our leading receiver with 2 of those. Our leading scorer was Dylan Goby at both corner and receiver, who had 2 interceptions, a receiving touchdown, and a punt return for a touchdown that were all huge plays in the game. Always great going against South High. I respect the heck out of those guys. Every game's important. We're in fact, we really got a big win last week. Means a lot, but we got to go out and do it again, right? And you use the right word, momentum. If we can keep stacking up these wins, then our young team can kind of grow up before our eyes, and we'll be hopefully poised for some great success here late in the season.
All right, that was Coach Todd Butler over at West. That's a huge game from West quarterback, but let's talk about Dylan Goby for a second. Those are video game numbers: 2 interceptions, a receiving touchdown, and a touchdown off a punt return. Reggie Bush, Dory Jackson. I know this is West Torrance, but to produce a game like that, how often do we see something like that?
Man, you see it sometimes, but that's a big night. I didn't see those stats, but that would have been a one of those players that I might have overthought, might have thought of, hey, that's a player of the week potential there. But also his teammate, what was it, Eli?
Blake Ely.
I think he had 100+ receiving. I think he had a interception and a couple touchdowns too. That was one I thought about, and 11 tackles on defense. I was like, well, that was one. If I would have saw that before I made my decision, that would have been another player of the week. Good pick there as well.
Interesting story about the Elys. They went to Hawthorne High. This kid's grandparents went to Hawthorne High. One of them graduated with my dad. So I start, doing some research like, hey, are you related to this person? Yep. So they run Ely and Sons Heating and Air Conditioning out of the Torrance area.
Okay.
But yeah, Blake had 2 touchdowns. He had an interception. Yeah, big game for him. Moving on to South. That 48-0 win over Hawthorne, the Spartans scored 41 in the first half. Matt Mishler tells me it may sound simple, but tomorrow's game against West comes down to execution and not turning the ball over on offense, as well as big plays and forcing turnovers on defense. Before we get into Southside, are we ready to hear from Coach Mishler?
Let's go. Always good to hear from Mish.
Hi, Nick. This is Coach Matt Mishler from over at South Torrance. We're coming off a good win for us last Friday over Hawthorne. This team's played harder than any team we've had over the last several years. We don't have a lot of depth, so depth has been an issue, but our effort level has been really good. Things we're trying to get better at is execution and not allowing big plays. We played some good defense at times, but just the big plays that killed us. Same with offense. We've had some nice drives, but we can't really finish them off just with fatigue. We don't really have a game breaker. Young player making strides. I think our sophomore running back and linebacker, Nathan Karakis. Nate's really stepped up. The game against West, they played really well last week and got a big W. It's just opportunity for us just to get better and try to improve before we get into league. We want to try to be playing our best ball because our league's very difficult and we've got some big time opponents coming up. I think this is just opportunity for us to try to go out against another good team and get ourselves prepared for what league play has to offer.
All right, that was South Torrance coach Matt Mishler. Let's spotlight some Spartan players before we get into this preview. Chase Spar has thrown for over 800 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's added almost 200 on the ground. Nathan Karakis has over 200 yards and 3 scores on the ground, and his brother Jacob and Carter Adams have 3 touchdown catches each. All right, Damian, double local. This game could go either way. Who needs this win more?
Woo. I'm going to say South needs it more. They've been struggling over there the last couple of years. Right after they won CIF before the pandemic, and then that sort of since the pandemic they've been right around 500. Last year they were 2-8. So I think going to a rivalry game, it's gonna be a tough one. I think I was over there. I've been over there. I've been to West twice this year. One of the coaches told me when it's an all Torrance battle, you never know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a tough battle. West has already lost to Torrance and North, so they're gonna be looking to get one to close out things here with this one here. It's gonna be a good battle. I think West has dominated the series as of late. Pulling up the stats here, they won the last 4. And then I think it was like 12 of the last 14, I think it's something like that. So it's going to be a battle. So we'll see how. Big night for Golia, Dominic Golia from West last week with 4 touchdowns. And then, like you say, Chase Barr already with 10 touchdowns already. So we'll see if they can keep that momentum going.
There we go. Last one, Mary Star hosts Palisades, coming off that 30-15 loss to Lawndale. What's the key to Mary Star this week? I'm sure they had a tough game against Lawndale. I wasn't able to look at any of the film, but what do you know about Mary Star and what's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough battle going against Palisades. Palisades off to a 4-0 start. LA City team. Don't know exactly where they're ranked at. I haven't seen the rankings or, those city rankings, whatever. The one player to watch out for is quarterback Jack Thomas. 17 touchdowns already. That's a big number there. So it's going to be about. Mary Star has a bunch of athletes as well. See if they can bounce back. Tough game last week. Lawndale's King Barry, I think he had an offensive touchdown and a defensive touchdown. Helped the Cardinals pull that win out. So it's another city section, southern section matchup. Palisades is tough. Might be an open division team from the city. So let's see how Mary Star can bounce back and sort of see if they can slow down this tough Palisades team.
There we go. That will wrap our tackle football portion of this episode. We're going to transfer into flag football. The new top 10 is out. The top 3 stay the same. Redondo, San Pedro, and Banning are 1, 2, and 3. Palos Verdes makes a jump to number 4. I will be in Wilmington tomorrow for a battle of number 1 versus number 3. Redondo is at Banning. Kickoff is at 3:45. For the full top 10 and more local coverage, check out dailybreeze.com. Girls volleyball. CIF Southern Section released its third round of the playoff rankings. Redondo is now number 2 behind Sierra Canyon. Mira Costa jumps to number 9. Also in the top 50, we've got El Segundo at 25, Bishop Montgomery at 31, and South Torrance at 48. Redondo enters today's showdown with Mira Costa at 20-4 overall. Coach Tommy Chaffins says he's pleased but not satisfied about where the team stands, as well as the players and the coaching staff. Are we ready to hear from Coach Chaffins?
Always.
The key to success is you tend to not be very high air in the big runs, which is when you give up big runs, you tend to lose. The girls have been unbelievably steady. We've avoided injuries. I think that's a huge key to success. And we hope to continue to build every day. Only lost to Marymount, who ended up winning the tournament. Mira Castillo is an unbelievable passer and just makes all the plays that you wouldn't. A casual fan wouldn't notice like how many little plays she makes, but she makes them all the time. I would say outside hitter Leah Blair has been a standout as well, or unsung hero. Our setter Marlo Libby's been playing great. Abby Harrell for middle/opposite brings a great enthusiasm, big block. Our two kids have been playing libero, Rowan Devour and Gabby Kamaji. They've been stalwarts in the back row as well. Moving forward, we have an upcoming game this week. We play Torrance today, and then at Mira Costa, which is kindly honoring Lisa Zimmerman before the match, which is a nice, kind gesture on their part, and is always the best South Bay game of the year. 2 teams ranked in the top 20 in the country, and so it should be another exciting night in the South Bay. Thank you.
All right, that was Coach Tommy Chaffins. Lisa Zimmerman is a Mira Costa legend. She played and coached for the Mustangs, winning national titles in 85 and 2007, and she partnered with Holly McPeak from 1986 to 2001. She is a member of the California Beach Volleyball Association Hall of Fame. So, Damian, you may have to get there a little bit early.
It's Costa. You always got to get there early. Yeah, like I said, with flag football going on, I think around about 6, I think. And then the lower level volleyball starts at 4:30 or something like that. Yeah, I'll be there pretty early. Not too early though. But yeah, I'll be there pretty early. What Costa's done the last couple of years is honored someone from their past at these matches. I think a couple of years ago it was Holly McPeak, I believe. I'm not sure if he went to Mira Costa. But yeah, it was someone, I forgot who it was. It might have been McPeak, I'm not sure. And they did someone last year, but I didn't go to that match. But yeah, so it'd be fun to see tonight because Abby Zimmerman's on Redondo. So now so it's gonna be a fun little night there for the family, Zimmerman family.
That older daughter goes to Portland State. Boys water polo update. CIF playoff rankings are out. Mira Costa came in number 5 behind Santa Margarita, Corona del Mar, J. Serra, and Newport Harbor. Just outside of our coverage bubble, Loyola is number 19. Redondo came in at 26. Segundo at 34. We'll have an update for you in the next couple days on the Daily Breeze website. But Coach Reichardt says Mira Costa is prepared for a big weekend next week. They've got Loyola Friday and then a doubleheader with Santa Margarita and Oaks Christian. That should be interesting because that's 3 games in not even a 24-hour period.
Yeah, water polo and flag football, they love playing double hitters.
Yeah, double headers and back-to-back. That's 3 games in 2 days. I don't know how. I'm 42. I'm not going to. I can't even wrap my mind around that.
Volleyball, either Costa or Redondo, this is the second game of a 3-game in a row. I think Redondo, they played, it might be of both teams, really. I know Costa played Torrance last night, Redondo tonight, and then El Segundo tomorrow night.
Try to sneak them all in at the same time so they can get, they've got those tournaments. There's so much on the schedule that I'm sure logistically it's a circus just trying to figure out where they're gonna line up.
Yeah, it's a headache. The fall's getting crowded. The spring is the winter. The spring is always crazy. I'm sure all the athletic directors are pulling out their hair trying to get things scheduled.
Agreed. Last ad. The days are getting shorter, and that means shorter practices for ODA baseball. We're raising funds to add lights to the field so the team can keep training safely after dark. Are you interested in helping? Email odabaseball@aol.com today. That's right, AOL.com. You hear AOL recently decided to do away with its dial-up service?
Well, that was my first internet. Was dial-up. Had it in the house.
Oh, man.
The good old times.
All right.
Don't answer the phone. Don't call.
Don't answer. Yeah, right? Keep the phone. Get no phone. All right. Big matchups everywhere, from rivalries, volleyball showdowns, flag football battles at the top of the rankings. For full coverage and updates all week long, stay with South Bay Sports Radio. Follow along on Instagram. You can follow our personal Twitters and visit dailybreeze.com for more information. Damian, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to chatting with you more in the future, sir.
Looks good. Yeah, it's going to be a fun week. And then October rolls around. We go right into the league. And then that's a busy week. You get a lot of basketball, fall league stuff coming around too, because that season's going to be starting up pretty soon. So it's busy times at the Daily Breeze.
There we go. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit that follow button. Have a great Thursday, everybody.